There's a strange pattern that keeps repeating itself in human behavior. A man stabilizes his life. Predictable income, predictable routine, predictable future, and slowly, almost invisibly, the emotional intensity around him fades. Then another man appears, less stable on paper but moving in sharp, unpredictable bursts. Wins, losses, sudden leaps, unclear ceilings. And something in the human mind locks onto him, not because of chaos, but because of something much deeper: adaptive potential. Now look closely at the first pattern through the lens of Cristiano Ronaldo. Early in his career at Manchester United, Ronaldo wasn't the finished product people see today. He was inconsistent, flashy, sometimes frustrating, moments of brilliance followed by mistakes. But every few games, he would do something extraordinary. A goal no one expected, a performance that hinted at something bigger. That inconsistency did something powerful. It kept everyone watching. Not because he was perfect, but because he was unresolved potential in motion. This is where psychology steps in with a precise mechanism called intermittent reinforcement, one of the most powerful conditioning systems in human behavior. It's the same principle behind social media addiction, gambling systems, and viral content loops. When rewards are inconsistent but meaningful, the brain doesn't relax. It locks in. Consistency creates comfort, but inconsistency creates obsession. Now shift to a different domain entirely, and the same pattern repeats with Elon Musk. In 2008, Musk was on the edge of collapse. Tesla and SpaceX were bleeding money. His personal fortune was nearly gone. He was going through a divorce, and multiple rocket launches had failed. From a traditional lens, this was instability at its worst. But what most people missed is that he wasn't stagnant. He was volatile, in an upward direction. Within months, SpaceX achieved its first successful launch, Tesla secured critical funding, and his trajectory didn't flatten. It exploded. The fascination around Musk didn't come from stability. It came from a question the brain couldn't close. How high can this go? This directly activates dopamine prediction error. When life is predictable, dopamine stabilizes. But when outcomes are uncertain, yet trending upward, dopamine spikes. The brain becomes addicted not to what is, but to what might happen next. And just like that, a loop forms. Uncertainty leads to attention. Attention leads to reevaluation. Reevaluation leads to emotional investment. And suddenly, the person is no longer just observed. They are mentally tracked. Then comes the story of Steve Jobs, which reveals a deeper layer. Jobs was fired from Apple, the company he built. By all logical standards, that should have ended his narrative. But instead, something unexpected happened. He disappeared from the predictable path and reemerged with Next, then Pixar, then returned to Apple stronger than before. What made Jobs compelling wasn't stability, it was his nonlinear trajectory. Every time people thought they understood his ceiling, he broke it. This activates a phenomenon known as cognitive incompletion. The human brain is uncomfortable with unfinished patterns. When someone cannot be categorized or predicted, the mind keeps returning to them, trying to solve them. It becomes a loop of curiosity. I don't fully understand him. I need more data. Let me observe again. And that loop creates prolonged psychological engagement that goes far beyond surface-level attention. The pattern intensifies with Kanye West. His career is one of the most volatile arcs in modern culture. Massive success, public controversy, reinvention, backlash, then success again. Whether people admire him or criticize him, they don't ignore him. Why? Because his trajectory refuses to stabilize. He exists in a constant state of identity evolution. This ties into a biological mechanism called status volatility sensitivity. Humans are wired to monitor individuals whose status is fluctuating, especially when it trends upward. In uncertain environments, the most valuable figure isn't the one who is stable. It's the one who can navigate instability successfully. This is what psychologists refer to as adaptive security. Not safety based on what exists, but safety based on the ability to handle what comes next. Finally, the pattern becomes clear through Mohamed Salah. Salah didn't start at the top. He struggled at Chelsea, moved across leagues, and faced setbacks that could have defined his entire career. But instead of plateauing, he accelerated, Roma to Liverpool to global dominance. What makes Salah compelling isn't just success, it's the rate of transformation. The sense that his peak wasn't fixed, it was expanding. This reflects acceleration bias, where the human mind becomes more attracted to rate of growth than static position. A man earning modestly but rising fast can feel more compelling than a man earning more but standing still, because one represents a closed story and the other represents an open trajectory. And the human brain is naturally drawn to open loops. Now everything connects. When your life becomes fully predictable, you remove the brain's need to track you. No mystery, no tension, no unresolved future. But when your trajectory becomes upward, unclear, and non-linear, you trigger what can be described as a continuous evaluation loop. The mind begins asking, what is he becoming? Where will this lead? Am I witnessing something rare? And without awareness, attention turns into curiosity. Curiosity turns into investment, and investment turns into attachment. This is where most people get it wrong. They believe stability creates attraction. But in a fast-moving, unpredictable world, pure stability often signals predictable limitation, and predictable limitation kills tension. The answer is not chaos, but controlled unpredictability. Not randomness, but volatile momentum. The most compelling presence is neither chaotic nor static. It is someone who shows direction, growth, and unpredictable expansion. Someone who can fall, recover, and rise higher. That pattern signals something deeply rooted in human psychology. This person adapts and wins. And here lies the final insight. Obsession is never created by perfection. It is created by unfinished trajectories. When your path feels complete, attention fades. But when your path feels like it's still unfolding, without a clear ceiling, the mind doesn't relax. It locks in. Because it's no longer watching who you are, it's chasing who you might become. Now the truth will appear on your screen. From zero to rich, the 5 psychological traits nobody talks about. Watch closely, because this is not motivation, it's psychology. And what you're about to see can quietly reshape how you think about success. Don't skip. And before you leave, like the video and subscribe to the channel.